Hello, friends. Ron Harrison here from Unlimited Success Agency. We're part of the Five Rings family. Five Rings is a nationwide company with about 5 or 6 thousand people like me that help people, first of all, protect their money, then grow their money in many, many different ways. But I'm here to talk about football today. And you might say, football, what does football have to do with money? Well, football has a lot to do with money when you think about this analogy as we go through this. When we think about football, the goal is to get to the goal line, right? To get to the end zone. Well, if you think about money, and a lot of people are think about retirement, right? Or it could be any money goal that you have. You want to get to the end zone with your money. With our retirement money, it's really important to get to that end zone, right? So let's just think about this analogy a little bit and how this can all work out. So first of all, in football, you have what's called the red zone. The red zone is from the 20-yard line in. And what the red zone means is that's where the team has to be maybe more conservative. They don't want to have any, they don't want to lose the ball. They don't want to have loss of possession. They want to either have a field goal, preferably a touchdown, right? They want to score some points. That's the red zone. Well, the red zone is a challenge because you don't have as much room to maneuver. Imagine if you were on the other 20-yard line, you have 80 yards to maneuver. The receivers can get open, all sorts of things. Well, when you're in the red zone, it's much tighter. That's how retirement is, right? What if you get to the retirement red zone? The last few years before you retire. Well, you need to think strongly about that. So let's see what happens in this football. So the ball starts at the 20-yard line in the red zone. Play number one, you gain 8 yards. Now the ball's at the 12. You're making good progress, right? This would be sort of like the stock market going up in a year. Oops, bad thing happens on the next play. Lost 12 yards. Thinking about in the stock market, so let's say the market went up 800 points one year, then it went back 1,200 points, or went up 8% one year, then it lost 12% one year. So now you're way back. You've lost money, right? Okay, now the third play, a gain of 8 yards. So it gained, but it did not make back all of that loss. Because did you know that it takes more time to make up for a loss than it does to have the loss happen in the first place? Then on the fourth play, gain of 4 yards, now it's on the 12. Well, what happened in this sequence of plays? 4 plays, net gain of 8 yards. Now they could have kicked a field goal, but they were confident that they might be able to score. So loss of possession. They didn't do anything in the red zone. Fighting back from loss requires so much work. Now we're going to talk about index plans, and you'll see how these relate in a minute. So an index plan, if you can see on this chart, the index plan is the blue line. And the blue line, the way that goes, it goes up when the market does well, then it goes level when the market crashes. So up, level, up, level, up, level. Think about this in a football game. What if on every play, all the team could do would either stay at the same line of scrimmage or move ahead? How many football games would you win? You'd probably win every single football game, unless all you ever did was just stay at the ball at the same place, right? Now this shows you how the S&P 500 and the Dow compared to indexed accounts. Again, indexed accounts up and sideways, up and sideways. The Dow, the S&P 500, the markets, commodities that people invest in, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So now let's see how this would work in a football game. In this football game, you might consider it your retirement game, right? So just like the other scenario, we have our red zone, ball starts at the 20-yard line, same plays. We're going to run the exact same plays. So play number one gains 8 yards. So now you're at the 12. So again, if we're talking about maybe the stock market gained 8%. Now in the next play, the stock market lost 12%, or you lost 12 yards in this play, but your ball stays at the 12-yard line. That's how index football works. That's how index plans work. You never lose value when the market crashes. Next play, the market goes up another 8%, or you gain 8 yards in a football game. Now you're at the 4 yard line. You can smell that end zone, right? You can smell that successful retirement. Then finally, play number 4, just like the last scenario, gain of 4 yards, end zone, and you scored a touchdown. Or in your retirement, you can see what happened here. You gained 8% in a year. You stayed level in year 2, which was play 2. In the third year, you gained 8%. In the fourth year, you gained 4%. No chance of loss. 4 plays, net gain of 20 yards, whereas the previous, when we played regular football, you didn't even score, right? You ended up at the 4 yard line or 6 yard line, whatever it was. So avoiding loss is so important. So if any of this resonates to you or resonates with you on how to avoid loss, what you want to do, especially when you get into the retirement red zone. That retirement red zone is really an important place, and that's when you need to be more conservative. You need to probably talk to other coaches, right? Because when teams get into the red zone, they pull all the coaches together and talk. That would be like talking to another financial person. That's a financial coach. Then finally, making the decisions, the logical decisions, rather than emotional decisions. Just like in football, those teams that make emotional decisions typically don't do well. Those people that make emotional decisions about their retirement typically don't do well. So a little bit of education can go a long way for you. So thank you very much. Take care. And you can see the contact information here, the web address, and also the QR code. Click those, learn a little bit more about what we do. Be more than happy to work with you. We're a no-fee based agency. It doesn't cost you anything to talk to me. And for most people, it doesn't even cost them anything extra to do business. We just reallocate the funds that they have in many cases, especially when we start talking about retirement. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic day. And if it's Super Bowl time when you're watching this, I hope your team does well. Thank you, everyone.